I know, it's a morbid thought. I can't help myself. This horrifying question just pops into my head practically every time I board an airplane. What would I do if this plane were about to go down during the middle of the flight? Throughout my years of travel, I mulled over this scenario, and I decided that if the flight I am on is ill-fated, then during my last few minutes in the air, I want to put on my headphones and play Lynyrd Skynyrd's signature song, Freebird, as the plane drops from the sky. Of course, first, I would say a prayer, thanking God for the incredible life I've experienced, and I would ask Him to watch over my wife and children and, now, grandchildren. But then, the last thing that I would want to hear before I die is Allen Collins's legendary guitar solo. From my morose perspective, Free Bird is the perfect song to listen to as one's life draws to a close. This song is about freedom, and as a Christian, I believe there is nothing more liberating than the freedom I'll experience when my earthly existence comes to an end and I am in the Lord's presence. Fly away, free bird. Historically, this song has become connected to the tragic 1977 plane crash that took the life of Lynyrd Skynyrd's lead singer Ronnie Van Zant, guitar player Steve Gaines, and his sister Cassie Gaines, one of Lynyrd Skynyrd's backup singers. Before the plane crash, when Lynyrd Skynyrd performed this song in concert, they would often dedicate it to the memory of rock legend Duane Allman. In somewhat of a dark, poetic turn, this song has now become a tribute to Ronnie Van Zant after the crash. In some respects, there is an uncanny, prophetic feel to Freebird. Perhaps this partly explains why this song uniquely captures some of my thoughts and feelings when I board an airplane and think about how my life on Earth might one day come to an end. It almost feels as if Free Bird was written and recorded just for me in those moments when I sit on a plane waiting for takeoff. Music is an integral part of our lives, and that seems to always have been the case. As musician and neuroscientist Daniel Levitin points out in his book, This Is Your Brain on Music, music is an unusual human activity because of its antiquity and pervasiveness. Musical instruments are among the oldest artifacts from the archaeological record associated with modern humans. Archaeologists have found musical instruments in sites located in northern Africa, Europe, and Asia, places occupied by some of the earliest modern humans. Typically, these instruments were created from the long bones of birds and functioned as whistles and flutes. In some cases, percussion instruments have also been recovered. Music stems from our capacity for symbolism and our ability to manipulate symbols by combining them and recombining them in endless permutations. A growing number of anthropologists think that our capacity for music appeared well before we began to migrate around the world. In fact, we have evidence for symbolic expression that extends back to the time when modern humans first appear on Earth. Music not only traces back to the time of our origins, it is also everywhere today, all around us. As Levitin points out, whenever humans come together for any reason, music is there. Weddings, funerals, graduation from college, men marching off to war, stadium sporting events, a night on the town, prayer, a romantic dinner, mothers rocking their infants to sleep, and college students studying with music as a background. Music serves an important function for many of the most significant events in our lives and helps to make the most mundane parts of our daily routines enjoyable, even meaningful at times. Music is a language of sorts. It is a means to communicate information. However, it is so much more. And for that reason, perhaps, it isn't that surprising that music takes center stage in our lives. Music can inspire us. It can boost our confidence. It can give us hope. Music deeply connects to our emotions. It provides the means for us to express how we feel when words alone won't do. Music gives us chills. It moves us to tears. It comforts us. It allows us to express gratitude and joy. Music brings back memories of happier times and comforts us as we face difficulties and disappointments.